Continuing our look at circle theorems, this particular theorem that we're going to look at now is what we call the alternate segment theorem. You should have already have it written down, but just a refresher that this theorem is the one which states the angle between a tangent. I'm going to draw my tangent in now just to make it kind of obvious. The tangent is that line there that runs across, the circumference of the circle. So the angle between a tangent and a chord is equal to the angle in the alternate segment. Remember, alternate tends to mean opposite, okay? So if we look at our diagram here, up here we have the angle Z, and down here we have the angle X, okay? So these are alternate, meaning they're kind of opposite each other. Okay, so let's continue. So for our question, we want to be able to calculate the values of X, Y, and Z. So X is out here, Y is here, Z is here. So we are going to start with Y first because Y should be the easiest one to calculate. Something that is very important before we even move on is that anytime you're doing circle theorems, never base your answer based on the drawing of the circle alone. That applies, of course, for my drawings because my drawings don't tend to be too accurate. But even in the exam, you will always see a note saying that the diagrams are not drawn to scale. So you cannot really eyeball an answer like that, okay? Okay, so back here. So let's think about our previous theorem. Remember that theorem that says the angles in a semicircle will be equal to 90 degrees? If we look at our diagram, we can see that there is a semicircle going on here because we see that our line is running through the middle of our circle. So that will tell us that we know Y, according to that theorem, is going to be 90. Oops, let me just change this. Yeah, we know that Y is going to be equal to 90 degrees. Okay, and that is based on a previous theorem. You see how many theorems tend to operate at once within one circle? So Y is 90 degrees. And then let's calculate Z. Now we know that this is a triangle, so the angles within a triangle must always be equal to 180 degrees. That's something that we know and that we should have known for a while. So calculating Z, we know that Y is 90 degrees should be pretty simple. Because now we know that in our circle so far, we know that this angle here at the bottom is 30 degrees. We know that Y is 90 degrees. So Z is going to be equal to 180, take away the sum of 30 and 90, which is going to be Z is equal to 180, subtract 120, therefore Z is equal to 60 degrees, okay? Now let's use our alternate segment theorem, and remember our alternate segment theorem tells us, trying to scroll, it tells us that the angle between a tangent and a chord is going to be equal to the angle in the alternate segment. So that tells us that now that we know that Z is 60 degrees, then so too would be X on the outside, okay? So X is equal to 60 degrees, okay? All right, write that down and we will discuss some more.